Smurf here at the Colorado Festival of Horror, and I have legends, albeit people that everyone has wanted to have a single conversation with, and I get to have both of them. I'm talking about John Dugan and Alan Danziger, the minds, the bodies, the thoughts behind Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I am just excited. Oh my God. So this film is regarded as one of the top 100 American movies, not horror.
No,
I think it comes in higher.
AFI.
Yes.
American Film Institute.
How do you carry a weight like that? I mean,
very hard. I mean, look at us.
I mean,
you can see it. You can see it in our faces.
You know, 50 years later or so.
Yeah.
I mean, it's mind-blowing to think that film is 50 years. You guys broke ground and set the pace for the golden age of horror, if you will, because that's 73, right? 1973.
73 we shot, yeah.
No, we shot in 73.
Yeah, August of 73. We wrapped
74.
I think we wrapped August 18th, 73.
But there was nothing for you guys to pay homage to or imitate, or I mean, this was your guys' baby from the ground
up.
Well,
you look at Psycho, the corpse in the rocking chair thing upstairs, sort of is kind of from the original Psycho. You know, the dead mom,
the mom in the rocking chair in the window, right?
Yeah.
But other than that, I don't know.
Yeah, but that's that's a little bit different of a take because you have just one person. You're dealing with like a family, and we'll get to your crazy ass character in a second. But I mean, you're also like with your friends, and you're kind of like the mainstay. You're the vehicle that you carries us into this story.
Who would have known? Who would have thought? Yeah, I might have taken some classes, some acting classes. If I knew, I would have been better prepared.
So you know where the story's going when this starts, or is it revealed to you?
It's revealed to us. They didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah, they were writing on the fly.
They were writing it on the spot, but they were stoned quite a bit,
Well, I mean, it is the 70s.
Yeah, so
Well, Kim was there with a clipboard and a legal sheet constantly and he'd tear it off and hand it to somebody who'd hand it to you and say,
I don't think all the classes in the world would have prepared you for that.
No.
So you played Jerry. For the people at home that don't know Jerry, get to know Jerry. Everybody loves Jerry.
He's the jokey, nerdy guy.
He is.
From Dr. Wofola. James Janice of the Kill Count referred to me as this 30-year-old disco stew looking dude. I don't know what the hell he was talking about.
Are you wearing bell bottoms?
I'm wearing bell bottoms, yeah. And I have a floral shirt that I got at an Indian boutique. I had my wire, rimless glasses.
Yeah.
And my fro type of hair.
You had quite the fro.
I had quite the fro. I don't even know what the hell that was about, but it seemed to all, I guess, work, in this movie, yeah.
So you go through this whole scene, and how do you prepare to get killed? I mean, you have no references, right?
Just a good story.
Great, yeah, it's good. Actually, it's my homage, if you will, to the Stanislavski method, which I know nothing about. But I like that term, but I heard about it. Yeah. So I said, just to make this work, I'll sit out on the front porch, and I had them blindfold me. And so I was, I guess, 15, 20 minutes while they were setting up the shot. And I had not seen Leatherface. In some ways, I don't know if it was done intentionally, but they kept us apart, from Gunnar. So I didn't know Gunnar, I didn't know what he looked like. So it was just going to be, the take as it happened. So they yell action. And I go, meander through the vestibule and into the kitchen, and I see the hook, and the noise of the refrigerator, whatever, it opens up, and she pops out. I freak out, and then Leatherface comes into the kitchen, but I'm screaming and I'm running out of there. So
and you scream like a little girl too. It's really good.
Oh my God.
I'm still embarrassed.
That is your actual scream.
That is my scream. That wasn't dubbed in. sadly to say.
Well, that
Wish
whole
we could do it again.
that whole scene is very spastic because the way she flies out of the freezer.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
like a jump comp, yeah.
I was
is.
there that day. I was working on the lighting crew that day.
But Toby yells cut.
Yeah.
And he comes over to me and he puts his arm around me. He said, Alan, that's a great scream, but he's not even in the frame. You got to wait for him to be in the frame with the hammer. I said, okay. So we do it again, and I freak out again, you know? Finally put two guys behind me, and they got behind in my belt loops, and they pulled me down just as the hammer.
Well, I was wondering about that because your fall seemed very just kind of like awkward.
Well, you know, I took that shot, that's what, 50 years ago, and I'm still getting terrible headaches.
I believe that.
You know, so
That's a lot of weight to just.
it was yeah.
Unlike the gas station attendant that has that very large cranium that that's sitting there in front of the gas station.
Oh, yeah.
The troll.
The troll. Yes.
Yeah, nice guy, too.
Perfect, yeah. You did a great job.
Well, I mean, you guys paint this picture, which is just, I mean, riveting. And to this day, everyone is like, well, it's based on a true story. We're like, no. It's like The Princess Bride. They're like, well, there's a sequel to The Princess Bride. No.
And people come up to us and say, they know the people, they know the guy. Oh, yeah. You know, it was true. I said, I'm in the movie. And I'm telling you, it didn't happen. But they don't, people want to believe what they want to believe.
Right.
And it sounds so believable.
Well, it does.
You know, I mean, the way that thing scrolls and.
Well, you got John Larroquette doing the opening dialogue, which, of course, Larroquette is huge fan. Love his work, Night Court and all of his films and all of that. Stripes, of course. I mean,
I have a Larroquette story.
Even better. But I mean, you guys, you paint this very impactful picture of just normal meets crazy. Now you are 20 at the time.
20 years old, yes.
And you are in aged makeup to look 130.
113.
113.
Or as my grandmother would say, 113.
So how did they sell you on this idea?
Well, Kim Hinkle was married to my sister. He's my brother-in-law.
Right.
And I was doing a children's play at the Goodman Theater in Chicago for the summer. 2 shows a day, 6 days a week, $275.
Right.
So,
hey, that's big money.
$12.50 a show or something.
Yeah. High roller.
Big time.
Yeah. But I mean, my rent was $135 a month for a 2-bedroom coach house. So in Chicago.
Wow. Okay.
A long time ago. So it was like, I was walking on High Cotton that summer, and Kim called me and asked if I was. Hey, John. Hey, Kim. Are you crazy, man? I said, yeah. Come on, of course I am. What do you need? And he goes, we're doing this movie. You want to come down and do it? I said, sure. So I put my notice in at the theater with the producer. She was not pleased at all. And she told me, when I told her what the role was, and this is an absolute truth. She was an old Russian woman. Bella Itkin was her name. She was from a Russian theater family.
Right.
And complete with the accent and all that stuff. And she said, Roddy McDowell would never have done the Planets of the Apes if he had not been an established actor first.
Maybe?
Before we were enrolled, I've been compared to Roddy McDowell.
I mean, the man was a genius. I loved all of his horror, and he always got these great looks, these kind of, those posh New Yorker style,
Then we met him, I think, at I think it might have been Cinema Wasteland or another one.
No, I've never met Roddy.
I did.
I would love to.
He could read the dictionary,
right?
And I'd be enthralled.
Oh yeah, me too. Oh yeah.
The way, just the delivery.
Something. It was great. It was great. Amanda Plummer was there at this thing. Yeah.
No, that was 20 years ago. But I didn't meet him. I had dinner with him. We had dinner with Amanda Plummer and
Malcolm McDowell.
Malcolm McDowell. That
was. You guys get a lot of celebrity fans? Because I mean, this movie has struck chords with people all across the board.
What's his name? What's the Oliver?
Oliver Stone.
Oliver Stone put Ed Neal in that movie
About Kennedy.
about Kennedy because
What was that?
he wanted to know how that shot was done under the swing when Pam
The
goes
chick
up.
gets up
yeah,
with the
yeah,
booty
walks
shorts.
up. He wanted to
It
know
was
about
really
that, and
pretty simple.
he gave him a part just so he could find out about that.
But that, that
Quentin
shot,
Tarantino calls it a perfect movie.
Well, and I'm a huge Tarantino fan, and I do have to agree. I mean, the elements, everything you guys compose is just
I think it's
a symphony.
and something of luck, divine luck, because
it's like a perfect storm. We all
Yeah.
came together that summer and made magic,
Well, and you guys are still like together. All the chainsaws that have followed, you guys have been associated or helped or been along the way.
in minor ways. I mean, I was in the 3D movie. You know, where they show a montage, and I got more money for not being in the movie than I got for being in the movie.
I did. I was in
Yeah.
3D, and I was in the. I'm the only living actor to have done 3 of the franchise.
Oh wow, I guess that's true. I didn't even think about that. That's almost
I
that's
was in the
heart-wrenching.
first one, the 4th one, and the 6th.
And I'm in the Netflix movie. They just use a Polaroid of us throughout the movie. I got more money for that than I got for being in the movie.
Well, I mean, at least
Union
your
strong,
picture
baby.
is worth money. Is what the message of that story is right there.
That's why we all walked out this month.
So when you guys look at like the franchise in front of you, it's laid out in front of you. Is there one besides your own that you're like, you know what, this came as close to us as possible? Is there a standout?
I definitely have an answer for that. Besides early.
Because 2 kind of went like a huge departure from the first
Universal
one.
monster films is what I pretty much
Okay.
grew up on. And the first horror movie I saw in a theater was Chingler. Like 5 years old. I went with my sister, and she was 4 years older than me, so she was like 11 or some shit. And but she met up with some friends in the lobby and ditched me, so I'm all alone in this packed movie theater watching Chingler, and there's a scene in there where the Chingler gets loose in a movie theater. Scared the shit out of me. However, as far as modern horror is concerned, I think the first Hellraiser is one of the scariest fucking things I've ever seen.
We were talking about that actually while the movie was going on, because Hellraiser, I agree, because
The
it's just
first-
the first one, absolutely.
Second one was all right. Third one, it just kind of went.
Yeah, it went right into the dirt.
Yeah.
Because right after Hellraiser is Serpent Under the Rainbow, because those two films just
I don't even know that film.
that one Pullman is Bill Pullman is in it, and it deals with like it's loosely based on a real story about making a human person like an actual zombie, and there's some pretty intense scenes in that film.
Oh.
So if you haven't seen Serpent Under the Rainbow,
Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. It's a yeah.
so I would recommend it. But what about you, John?
Me, Alan.
Alan, damn it! Say, I knew I was gonna do that.
What's the question?
So, like all the films laid out, is there one that like you like? This is like the one that came as close to Texas Chainsaw, the original one. Is there a horror movie that stands out the most for you that you're like, you know what, this is my favorite? Or
I enjoyed that one. I think with Jessica Biel. I like that. You know, I enjoyed that movie. I forget which.
With Arlie Ermey as the sheriff guy and all that. Yeah.
I think so. And then
That was pretty
I
well.
like the one, the 3D, because of what's her name, Taddeo. She's beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's 3D, and that because they used the montage. I kind of like that, movie in some ways.
I got to sit next to her in the cast van early in the morning. She just got out of the shower, and she was sitting right next to me, and she has those eyes. And I could still smell her shampoo and her hair was still wet.
I mean, she's just gorgeous.
And I was just like,
And they had that 3D thing.
Right.
And as a kid growing up, I was enamored.
so
I saw I watched the House of Wax in 3D. It was a great movie.
Vincent Price,
You
yeah.
know, when I was like 10 or 11. So those I liked. I didn't really care that much for 2. I thought it was just way over the top. But
It was such a
but it was a
departure from the original one.
departure, right?
it just was. It almost was silly.
Yeah.
The second
In
one?
a, yeah, in a way. In my
I liked
opinion.
it just as a separate entity, kind
And
of.
that, the Matthew
because
McConaughey one that came, I mean, that was
I was in that
out
one.
there.
Top.
That was out there.
That
Yeah, I had a scene with Renee Zellweger.
You were
Yeah, I
you
played a cop.
You played a cop.
It was Renee Zellweger.
Zellweger.
And Marilyn Burns was in it.
Yeah.
And Paul Partain. And they switched roles. He was pushing her in a gurney, like she pushed him in the wheelchair.
Right.
And they just walked by me and Renee. We're like that. We're so close. Renee.
They didn't want that movie
She
to come
wanted
out.
me, but I thought maybe she was a little too young. I would have felt creepy. But but really, so they just walked by us when we stopped and go like that. There was a close up of them walking by.
Nice.
That was the last time I saw Paul.
Yeah, because it had to be weird. Because you guys had like protesters like don't show this movie, don't see this when it first came out, and now it's like hailed like Quentin Tarantino, flawless film.
You know,
What
it
is
was-
that? What does that feel like?
It was banned in England and Germany until just about 10 years ago or something.
Really?
10 or maybe 15 years ago now.
Yeah, actually, we went to Germany, to Dortmund, and we did a reunion in Germany, and it was
yeah,
great,
it was fun.
great reception.
Well, I'm sure. I think everyone's probably like throwing up sauerkraut.
Yeah. Throwing whatever.
Whatever.
They're dentures now. They're throwing.
Was it an older crowd, or I mean, are you getting a lot of like the younger kids
We're getting
now?
young. I mean,
Oh,
we're
yeah,
getting
they're-
kids like 5 and 6. It wouldn't-
Oh, well, that kind of seems a bit disturbing
I
in my
know,
opinion.
it is kind of, it's like,
They
geez,
said my kid, he's 5.
is that me or you?
Can I just tell him?
You're fine. Yeah.
I'm in the press conference. I can't talk now. I'll call you when I'm out. Okay. Okay.
Movie star, man.
Movie
that is
star,
so
right
badass.
here.
Is that badass or what?
Okay, then 15 after. Call me.
No, I asked him to call before I came in here.
Why didn't you say just call my people?
If it's going bad, I can get out. Just
Have your people
call
call
me.
my people.
You know that we're meeting kids that are 7 and 8. And my son, I took him to just see the coming attractions when the movie came out.
Right.
That's 50 years ago. He's still in weekly therapy. So that kind of gives you an idea what kind of changes have taken place. But now there's so much going on. I mean, kids have seen killings in schools and whatnot. So
Yeah, I mean the environment.
what are you
is
going to do? What are you going to do?
changed. Was there something that you guys wanted to do in the original filming that you never got to, or is there stuff that's like
Speak.
Speak? Well, I mean, you get some finger action. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
dying
baby.
to use that joke.
No.
Yeah, baby.
I wish
Finger
there was-
action.
There was some sexual hanky-pank going on there. Because, I mean, Marilyn was beautiful. There's nothing. There's no romance. There's no hugging. There's nothing.
It's so vanilla.
Not even a kiss.
No.
You know, it dawned on me last night. I'd noticed this before, but it really hit me again last night watching it, with the crowd and everything.
Yeah.
With Marilyn there, and those gorgeous breasts and everything, even when Ed, the hitchhiker, is in her face making fun of her, he pokes her, but he pokes her up here.
Yeah.
Her tits are right here. He does not
There's nothing.
jab her
No.
tits or
Yeah,
grab her
yeah.
tits. He's poking her on her collarbones with those gorgeous
I mean, yeah,
breasts right there.
that like hanging right there. Because yeah,
Yeah.
you guys are going down to the lake.
I know.
Yeah.
We're like,
I got-
ooh,
I
I'll
got
be
the
at least
sucker
an
finger.
hour. Yeah, an hour.
But they did whatever they could because they were going to get an X rating. And they had to fight that, by making some cuts and how they hung Terry on the hook.
Right.
Pam on the hook.
Didn't show anything. They just showed her reaction to it.
Yeah, because they don't.
People
there's-
think they saw the hook go right
It's
into it.
amazing. It's amazing.
I won bets. Oh yeah.
So
when
you,
see
yeah,
that
like,
hook go to her
what's the
back-
craziest fan theory that you guys have heard at a con?
Oh God, a lot. I've had one guy say, as he was walking away with his family, and he was, his whole family were dressed like his little boy was dressed like Leatherface and had a toy chainsaw.
Right.
He's seen it. He's seen chainsaw 15 times. It was only that big. I was like, oh fuck. Serial killer waiting to happen here,
Breeding serial killers.
And so they finally start walking away. I was sharing a table with Gunn. He was over here. They worked their way that far in about an hour. And I said, oh God. And they're leaving. The guy stops in this really conspiratorial sort of tone, does one of these things. You know, he's still out there, don't you? And I, like a dumbass, I went, who?
Just opened that door, didn't you?
Leatherface. He's still up there in them Texas hills. Sometimes I still see him. And he walks away. I thought, oh, what have we started here? That was 20 years ago. That was one of my first conventions. And that was a
20
taste
years ago? You was first?
20 years.
Wow.
22 years,
Yeah,
maybe.
it's about the same time.
Something like that. 22 years, something like that.
Gunnar had the monopoly. He had cornered the thing, and so we didn't even know about these Comic Cons or whatnot. And then he approached us about doing a reunion, and that was like in 2004. So that was the first one, Cinema Wasteland. It was a great convention. But when I went there,
No. It was Monster Mania in New Jersey.
not the one that I did. The one that I did was Cinema.
Oh yeah, I
Wasteland.
wasn't there. Yeah.
And that was when Paul was still alive. He was there. Robert Burns was still alive, and Gunnar and they had a whole line of merchandise. All I had was one 8x10 black and white. I said, I'm dead. I'm dead in the water. But they saw me as fresh meat,
Right.
And so the fans.
Everyone else has gotten their signatures.
And they have their own. They had their posters. They had their this. So I did fine. I mean, it was amazing. It was just
opened your eyes?
Opened my eyes. Yeah.
Have you seen the success with other projects that you had with Chainsaw?
I've got some things actually. After 50 years of being away, they drugged me back. And so I'm in a movie. I'm in two movies. One is called Cannibal Comedian. That's getting a lot of buzz. It's about a cannibal that goes into stand-up and starts killing and eating people. And it's and it's supposed to be a great movie.
It reminds me of a bad joke. Two cannibals are eating a clown. One looks at the other one and says, "Does this taste funny to you?"
And another one is called Storage Locker, and they wrote a part for me. So, and now I'm producing a movie called Weed Hacker Massacre that we'll be filming in up and coming months.
Again,
hopefully
I am available to just murder.
In it.
I don't need lines. I don't need anything. Just put me in a wheelchair and kill me.
All right.
I don't care.
and John said he would be part of it. So we're bringing back the band.
I was going to say,
we're getting the band together. That's right.
Do you guys work well together? I mean, you guys going and doing cons, and it's just kind of like reignite the friendship.
50 fucking years.
Well, I mean, just because you know each other, you feel like.
Well, when we did Chainsaw, and that's me. I'm sorry.
Here, man.
He and I never really worked together.
I didn't even.
We knew each other from being on set together, but we never acted together.
Wait, I was going to say, because you guys have like 0 scenes together, unless you're like doing grip work.
But I was there all the time because I stopped. I was doing theater in Chicago, and this was my first feature film project.
Right.
And theatrical piece and all that stuff. And I wanted to learn about the film business, so I was there all the time helping. I'd help out the lighting guys, I'd help out the sound guys. I'd pick something up, move it over there, and go get that, and put it over there. Why? I don't know. Somebody's, okay. But
we're paying for it. Just use it.
And Sally Richardson.
Oh yeah.
Our assistant director, she passed away a few years ago. Marvelous woman. She kind of decided I was her gopher.
Oh, okay. Her personal assistant.
Yeah. So I did all the blog on the side of the van and everything. I did all that stuff.
So you saw everything.
I saw it from
the beginning.
Yeah.
I didn't see. I mean, I was.
No, I missed all the stuff in the van in the beginning.
Right.
So after that, I was there the whole time.
But I was doing a camp for kids with mental challenges, so they worked around me. So I was available like on the weekends and stuff like that. So my part actually was the easiest part. I mean, these guys suffered. Being in that house, with 120 degrees, no air conditioning. Gunnar bless his heart, but you saw wearing that suit, that outfit for 30 days. all the secret, all the, whatever is not going to cut.
You have never smelled BO.
It was beyond.
It was
Valley of Beyond.
It was
BO.
no, it was off-planet BO. It was like Venusian BO. It's like something you never ever smelled before. It was so goddamn bad. It's like this can't be a human putting the smell off.
And the food rotting and whatnot. I mean, Gunnar actually threw up several times.
That does not surprise
The
me.
thing is, he could not. They had one. The shirt he wore
Right.
was hand dyed, like hippies used to do,
Right. With the rubber bands.
in a
and
kitchen sink.
Okay.
With a packet of Rit dye. Now, if you ever use that shit, once you start washing it, the color
Bleeds.
changes.
Yeah.
So they only did one shirt.
Oops.
So, and they couldn't wash it because they're afraid that colors would match. So he wore that fucking thing the entire summer.
Oh.
It was horrifying.
Oh, the poor.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
And he was like, nobody was sitting next to him at lunch or anything. He was all eating.
Nobody sat next to him or Paul, for that matter. Everybody hated Paul. I wanted him to die. I couldn't wait.
You're like, somebody kill this guy for me, please.
I met him at the con. He was the sweetest, nicest.
Oh yeah, he never broke character ever.
Because Paul is, I mean, Paul kind of gets it the lamest out of all of. I mean, Paul just kind
Are
of.
you kidding, man? I was introducing a screening in Grapevine, Texas, fucking, I don't know, 18 years ago or something, long time ago. We all were supposed to be there, but Ed Neal and his wife took everybody to a titty bar, and I was the only one that showed up at the screening. I was the only one that's shuffling dollars, And so I got up, I did the whole intro, and I sat down, and I watched it in a movie theater on 35 millimeter.
Right.
The first time in God knows how many years, with a full audience. And it was really neat. And when the van pulls up and the door opens, and Paul Franklin rolls
down
into
the
frame,
ramp. Yeah.
everybody stood up.
Aw. Because I mean,
And of course, I started crying because Paul had died.
right.
I'm like,
Well, I mean, it's just like so when he rolls down the hill, and you're just like, the crowd last night was laughing. You're like,
hell yeah.
It's so
it's funny.
pathetic.
But if have you ever met Kim Hankel before?
I don't believe I have actually.
Okay, but he has a really, well, you've watched the film a number of times.
Yeah.
He has a bent sense of humor, and the fact, Kim Hankel, I think, may be the first screenwriter to ever write a handicapped person that you hated.
I mean,
It's
without a doubt.
Totally unsympathetic handicapped guy.
Yeah, because you're waiting for him to get it.
Because he has worked.
One of the Dr. Wolfel said
He worked at the state school.
Yes.
Did he work the same place you worked with handicapped people, Kim? He worked it was right there on like 37th and Lamar or something. There was a home school for mentally handicapped people.
Because he wasn't handicapped in real life, was he?
No.
Yeah. So I mean, the choice to
I beg your
put him,
pardon, what?
he wasn't disabled.
No, he was,
Oh no! Hell
Yeah.
no.
So the put him in a chair.
You'd have to have the disabled.
You have to. I mean, the rules have changed.
Yeah.
So it just was kind of strange. Like, okay, we're gonna just put you in a chair and wheel you around and make you the most single annoying character in the freaking story.
But he did it beautiful.
He did. Because I
can still hear his voice, man. Sally.
down between the two sheds.
Down between those two.
He took the keys. He took the keys.
I'll go with you. I'll go with you. I'll go with you. I'll go with you.
I mean, when you're watching it with like audiences, do you join in sometimes?
Oh hell yeah!
He does.
Yeah, I know.
He does.
Alan's like, no,
He does
not me. I'm out.
governor.
I have no filter at all.
It is what you see.
Irritates the shit out of him. Has for 50 years.
Nothing wrong with that.
I think I'm getting worse and he's getting less tolerant, which makes him.
I think that just happens when you get old. You're just like, I can't deal with this bullshit.
We're cantankerous.
I
like that. So what have you been up to? I mean, Alan's making movies. I mean,
well, yeah, I do. I've been doing a lot of day player character work.
Really?
2 or 3 times a year, 1 or 2 days on a film at my day rate, which is
Astronomical. I heard, just enough
Not
to keep you in
astronomical, but
keep you in high cotton,
high cotton.
Not high cotton, but cotton.
but just cotton.
Yeah, just kind of
We're
cotton
like,
balls, maybe.
500
maybe a little
thread
bag
count.
of cotton balls to get
A little nylon or rayon in that cotton.
at Best Buy, it just say cotton balls.
Cotton balls.
On 'em. It doesn't say like Playtex or anything on there, but Playtex.
But it's amazing that after 50 years, like you guys want to talk to us, that there's something that I'm flabbergasted and
flattered,
overwhelmed
really.
and flattered at the same time.
Flattering.
Yeah.
Because not to downplay the film, but I mean, it is spectacular.
You
it just
know that
stick with you.
You don't know how things are going to turn out.
And when I've interviewed a lot of other people, who have made a career of adding to people's like Rob Paulson. Him and I've had multiple conversations with Rob. He's very
Rob
Paulson. He does animated voices. So he does like Yakko from the Animaniacs, and he's done I think almost all of the Turtles now at this stage.
Oh, wow.
And he's very thankful to the fans. He's like, you guys have.
I was just talking to Jim Fisher, who is one of the writers on Animaniacs. I was just talking to him.
Yeah, and they're a great group. So I think when you see the impact, it must be kind of very.
It is. I mean, I've just the other day I was at the bank, doing, and they were just, killing time. What's going on? How you doing? Blah blah. What do you got planned for the weekend? And I said, well, I'm going to Colorado.
Right.
And they said, well, what are you going to? I said, well, I'm going to a horror convention. Well, why are you going to? Well, have you ever seen the Texas Chainsaw Massacre? Yeah. Well, I was the driver. Well, there was a young kid who was an intern. He's got skulls and all kinds of tattoos. He just lit up. It's like I made his day. He says, I can't believe this. Thank you so much. And so it's that kind of impact that when I meet people, and I'm 80 now or over, and they have that kind of response, it's like, wow.
Do you get goosebumps?
Almost.
Almost?
Almost.
Did you get to keep the van? Where is the van?
The van died.
Oh.
No. What happened that we know is the van belonged to Ted Nicolau, the sound guy.
Mm-hmm. Who's now a horror film director.
Yeah.
Ted.
And he sold it to a school that did karate. And then we heard that it got T-boned and destroyed. And funny thing that you would ask, I was scrolling through Chainsaw fan website,
right,
and I saw a van, and it was on blocks, and a fan said, that looks just like the Chainsaw van. And so I said, what the hell? It was a phone number on the van. So I called the number, and the fellow that answered the phone, his name is Scott Key. And just to break the ice, I said, are you any relationship to Francis Scott Key? who wrote the Star Spangled Banner? He said, as a matter of fact, I am.
Holy shit.
Yeah. He's a great uncle, some stuff. So I said, by any chance, do you still have the van? He said, as a matter of fact, I do. I said, well, I'm the OG. I gotta get it. And it's a 74.
Yeah.
But the one that we drove was a 72, so it's the same
same
exact van.
Mm-hmm.
So we brought it down, and we worked a deal where if he brought it down, I would just pay him. And so he did, and took it to my mechanic who restored it. Another guy did the interior. So now I'm taking it to conventions that are close by. In fact, in Houston next month, I'm going to have that. I've got an animatronic Leatherface that's 7 feet tall, and I've got Franklin. I've resurrected Franklin, and we're going to do photo ops.
Nice.
In Houston at the Lone Star Comic Book.
And Bill Vale's going to be there.
Bill Vale is coming in for this, and Caroline Williams will be there also.
Yeah,
And Bill
this weekend.
doesn't do a lot of personal appearances.
No. I can't. I can't think of the most recent one. It's been a few years at least.
Yeah. So he's going to be there. So it's going to be, and then we're going to all be in Canada for the convention in Niagara.
Oh, that truck ain't gonna make.
Yeah,
that van ain't gonna make it all the way to Niagara Falls.
No. For Houston, it's going to work.
No, we're going to ride it over the falls. Alan and I are.
Barrel style.
That's a great idea.
Got it.
That's a great idea.
Got it. It is spectacular. Well, that's got to make you feel kind of good, like you just like finding an old friend online.
I know.
Fucking cool, isn't it?
It is. So has the family followed in the footsteps? You know, the son, the grandson, are they in the
They have
horror?
nothing to do with it.
None whatsoever.
They've never seen the movie. They couldn't care less.
No, my daughter thinks it's cool that, I'm semi-famous, but she is she really, has her
own life, right?
well, I've always been, and my parents are the same way. You give wings, let them fly, man.
Absolutely.
At 18 years old, if you need any help, call me. Figure it out.
You know where to find me. I'll be
Yeah.
calling you for bail. All right, thanks.
And my daughter sees this. I'm not saying that to be mean, honey. It's just the way things. But she's traveled the world. She lived in Australia for 8 years, and
Right.
she's living in Florida now, and she's proud of me. She went to I did a film in Florida last year, and they screened it at a place in Tampa Bay area. I was saying Ybor City, so it was down there somewhere. And she came over from where she lived
Right.
in Orlando, and spent the night with me and was at the screening and all that stuff. And she got in pictures. She had a really good time, and everybody was really excited to talk to her and all that. But I don't think she could really care with it.
Right. Well, yeah, I mean, because like Vincent Price's daughter, or Rod Serling's family, they're still part of it and they're involved, and you never know. But yeah, it's like
Vincent Price's daughter is a really nice person. Have you met her?
Yeah.
yes.
My brother was in the movie, a Mickey Spillane movie years ago, and he was a comedy writer. He wrote some stuff for Rodney Dangerfield, and
Oh,
and
wow.
my sister-in-law managed Zoe Saldana years ago before she became huge.
Yes.
And out to L.A. and later for you.
Excellent.
Wait a minute. She managed to?
Zoe Saldana, Avatar,
Oh, yeah.
and a bunch of other, and she's still doing it.
Wow.
But his brother was a trip, man. He was like a piano playing comedian in the Catskills or some shit like that. That's what he reminded me of.
Yeah, you met him.
And he was fun and just irritated the shit. Alan's very easily irritated.
No, you guys were great last night, especially when like all the fans are like coming up to get photos with you guys with the inflatable chainsaws and all that. And you guys actually you're doing photo ops this weekend, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I believe so.
So do we have to get you props for that?
You might have to get me propped up. Depends on what time of day it is.
How true. How true.
Depends on
Hey, is this going to be edited? Oh my God, we're in trouble.
Nah, I'd be surprised. Just
Were you at the event last night? Oh, okay. Because I don't want to there's some stories that I tell I don't want to necessarily.
No. I was there last night. I helped you get into the car.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
See, too much last night. You had too good of a time.
I really did.
That was one of the most fun Q&As we've ever done, I think.
You guys did really well last night. I mean,
Well,
for
we
as
worked
late.
well together.
Yeah, I mean, it's obvious.
And to have that, they said it was the best turnout that.
It was a good turnout for them. I mean, we packed the place. I don't think it hurt that you guys were coming, and everyone's like, so again, everyone wants to be close and just at least say, hey, I've met the guys.
Well, we're still vertical, not
Yeah.
totally, not in the.
More like at an angle.
Yeah.
Yeah, years ago at Flashback Weekend in Chicago, I was sitting, and this was almost 20 years ago, yeah. I was sitting here and Soupy Sales
Soupy.
Soupy
was over
sales?
here.
Jesus. Okay.
in a wheelchair like this with a drool rag.
Oh.
His manager sitting there next to him doing that. I thought, oh, God damn it. I hope that that doesn't
Well, I
happen.
mean, we kind of seen what you look like aged. I mean, because that mask and everything that
he
they
said
built
the guy who
is
did
right
it,
off your face.
He just aged me. That's
Yeah.
what he did. He took my face and he aged it. He said, if you ever live,
Reverse. Right?
yeah,
Yeah, everyone's de-aging now.
Yeah.
You,
Yeah.
They age. Because you're like this young, strapping yet lad. Because we saw pictures at the film
best
last
shape I've ever
night.
been in my life, man.
You were 20.
Jesus Christ.
The hair is still
What the
about the
hell
same.
happened? Huh?
The funny thing is, he's in the movie for a couple of minutes. He doesn't say a word.
No.
But these are the icons. I mean, him, Ed Neal, the cook, and Gunner, they're the heroes for that genre.
Yeah.
I'm amazed that as a victim that people want to get my autograph. I mean, it blows my mind.
Ed was so wild in that film. With,
Well, he's really not.
He wasn't acting.
No, he's not that much
That's the
different
way he
than
is.
that.
really? I thought that was like a whole act.
Oh, fuck no. No. No, he's really.
Was out there, huh?
He's out there. Woo. In a good way.
In a good way.
I've learned over the years how to translate whatever the hell he's saying.
I think it's. I mean, it still holds up. It really, really does. I mean, and the story you told, and I do kind of want to hear it, because you sitting in that rocking chair and them trying to haul your ass down the stairs. I mean, and I've seen in outtakes where you just kind of like went wet noodled and just right out of the chair.
I was told not to fucking move.
Why didn't they tie you into the chair? I mean, that would have been.
They should have, taped you.
Yes.
Oh, that would have required some union guy to have some widget that, some special strap,
And I mean, they didn't even bring in stunt guys to carry you down there. It was
No. We had no body doubles, no stuff. Hey, no, hell no.
so they just picked you up, carried you down.
Yeah.
How many takes did that?
About 5, probably. And finally, Gunn said in my ear, just Susan, if you don't stay in this fucking chair, I'm gonna kill you.
Kept falling out a
And
lot, did
Gunn
you?
was the gentlest, nicest man I'd ever met until that point. So I thought, Gunner. Yeah.
He was a wonderful guy and bright and intelligent, and great sense of humor. And actually, we became good friends after the movie, and Gunnar stayed with me. I had a big house in Westlake Hills, and he stayed with me till he moved to Maine.
Oh, wow.
And it was just a great time. And then when he was writing the book, Texas Chainsaw Confidential,
Right.
he came down to Austin, and at the time I had a bed and breakfast in Luling, Texas, that I thought I would end my days, living out there and learning how to whittle,
Whittle time away.
Yeah. And
Who's gonna make breakfast?
yeah. And on the way, he said, Alan, what do you think what your role was in the movie? And I said, we were just fodder. We were just there to be killed.
Right.
We were just filling up time.
It's all Leatherface.
Yeah. And you like
Chainsaw fodder.
Yeah. Was the chainsaw always the focal point? Was that always going to be the big kill weapon, or was it kind of like maybe, or how did you?
It's not really the kill weapon.
really
most of the
isn't.
weapon is the hammer.
Yeah.
But the chainsaw, I think it's only there a couple.
Franklin gets killed by a chainsaw.
Yeah.
But it's all done in silhouette from behind. You don't see it.
It is Alfred Hitchcockian.
And they're spitting blood from each on what's her name, Dottie and
Pearl.
Toby are on either side of him, and they're spitting
Blood at
at him.
Is there
to make it look like it's coming out of.
right? Is there footage still like floating out there that nobody's ever seen?
Somebody's got a whole bunch of it. Ed Neal,
He sold some.
he bought a storage locker
Right.
that Toby had forgotten about or something, and somebody called him and said, "Hey, there's they're going to get rid of all this stuff." So he bought all of this. They were short ends and stuff not in the film, outtakes and all that stuff. He bought it, and I think he made some stills off of some of the frames and stuff like that. But he donated it to the film school at the University of Texas.
They probably got some stuff.
So they have it there at UT Film Department.
And the thing that gets me is they borrowed Ron Bozeman, who produced the movie.
Mm-hmm.
There's a long shot at
Who won an Academy Award for Silence of the Lambs, by the way.
They said, Alan, we're doing a long shot. We don't need you. Can I borrow your shirt? And like a fool, I said yes.
Sure.
And I never got that shirt back. And that was my favorite shirt. I don't know I don't know what space I was at, but
Well, you didn't think about it.
I didn't think about it. And then I've asked Kim to look into it, and Ron said, I have no idea. He doesn't remember what the hell happened to this shirt. But it would have been like the shoes in the Wizard of Oz now,
Dorothy's.
And there are collectors now would pay, big money for
I
that.
could give you a punch list of people that would be right at the front of that line.
I'd love to have the shoes that those brown and white spectators that I had on.
Those were impressive shoes, by the way.
You can't find those things
No,
anywhere.
those went out like ages ago.
And I could sport those babies right about now. in
Right
my
now, you
life,
could.
huh?
Without a
People
doubt.
go, ooh, dig those shoes.
So after the Colorado Festival of Horror, where are you guys headed next? What's up on the docket?
Well, I actually fly to New York for a concert in honor of my brother passed away a few years ago, and I wasn't able to go to the funeral because of COVID.
Right.
So I'm really looking forward, to seeing my my nephews and cousins.
Right.
And,
Any chance to go back to New York?
yeah, and my sister-in-law's got a bunch of restaurants ready.
What
You know, to go.
from, Al?
Pardon?
What neighborhood you from?
Originally, I'm from the Bronx.
Bronx.
Yeah, I went to the Bronx High School of Science.
Oh, wow.
I went to City College, and my best friend in high school was Stokely Carmichael. I don't know if you remember. He's the Black Power movement. Oh, yes. And
Stokely
Carmichael.
You went to high school with Stokely Carmichael?
Yeah, we were best friends.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
No, he left the country and went to fucking Liberia or something.
Yeah,
He was married to Miriam Makeba,
Yeah.
and he passed away sadly of prostate cancer.
What was the best-selling book that he wrote? I mean, it was huge.
Yeah. But anyway, so that, and then we're doing the horror convention
Texas.
in October, and then we're going to Niagara Falls.
Okay.
And then February is the first official Chainsaw 50th anniversary. We're going to be in Ontario, California.
Oh.
So
wow.
it's heating up. It's heating
Yeah,
up.
because you guys have the video game that just came
Ontario,
out.
California.
Yeah, and I went to that video release party.
Yeah.
And it was incredible.
Well, wait a
Did
minute.
you-
We're going to
did-
be in Ontario, California.
Yeah.
When?
February 2nd to the 4th.
Oh, right around my birthday. But
Glad we're here to help him with his
California-
itinerary.
Yeah, California. Yeah.
Well, Stacy, my wife takes care of it.
Yeah, it should be fine.
I'll be in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, first week in October, and then I'm all over the place until like
I
November
think we're going
1st.
to be in Michigan in November. And
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I've got
So you
some
guys
library.
are on tour.
This is it.
Nice.
Well, it's our 50th. Well,
It's
next year is really the 50th of our
When
release.
it came out.
When the
but-
release.
But, it's
But
like
for
a
us,
10-year
it was 50
Yeah.
years ago. So we are.
So we need to do this while we're vanishing
young.
grade. Yeah, while we're young.
Well, you're young. And did you get to play the video game at all, or did you just go?
I know how to do it.
Oh, okay.
I don't have the
Try to
wherewithal.
get a video PlayStation, so I can learn how to do it.
Yes.
If it was like Pong or something, I might be able to do it. But
Classic.
They had a Pong game too.
I bet you did, man.
I
For
did.
some reason, I could tell. Just by-
Excellent. Do you guys have we're coming to the end, so do you have a website that people can
Yes.
follow you?
Yeah.
And
Mine is chainsawjerry.com.
okay.
And you can order all kinds of stuff. I got merchandise and posters and
Not
artwork and
everybody
whatnot.
can make it here, so
Yeah,
best way to
yeah.
connect with you.
And I've got my gummies, Chainsaw Jerry's Killer Gummies. I've got my beef jerky.
They're killer,
And
by the
on the blade it says "We were the meats."
They really are
Do
killers.
you have any of the jerky with you?
They're
Yeah.
100
Oh,
milligrams.
sweet. I want some spicy
You got it,
jerky.
you got
Yes.
it.
They're like
And
100
I
milligrams
gave him a
for.
package of the gummies. He was a sweetheart the whole weekend. He does.
I think you slipped one up on stage last night.
I did. Did you see me do that?
I did. I'm observant. It's part of my job.
It wasn't one of my gummies, was it?
No.
no.
No,
No,
but
yours are indica, man. I was on fast to the last night.
it was subtle. Don't get me wrong, but I mean it's legal in
Uh,
Colorado.
We can get arrested at it.
No,
No, you
we're in
can't.
fucking
We're in
Colorado.
Colorado.
Book 'em, Dan.
Book 'em, yeah. Get 'em. And John, do you have a website for people to follow?
No,
or
I'm
keep
just on Facebook,
Okay.
and I'm on. I think I'm Chainsaw Grandpa on that thing that what's his fuck bought and changed it to X. So I've never.
Oh, that's Twitter.
yeah, Twitter. I
Twitter.
never.
Yeah, we're on Twitter, Instagram. I got a
Yeah,
IT
Instagram.
guy that handles. That handles
But I don't
Yeah,
really have.
I wanna
don't have
hand
a
it to
website.
somebody
above
too.
my pay grade.
I don't have a website because I don't have the wherewithal to
The man.
manage it.
Yeah,
you know.
all this crap.
I have to have somebody, and my wife's still working, so, and she can't, she would be very good at it, but she doesn't have this time to do it.
There's other younger people to do it that have time. I don't.
And just on my Facebook stuff keeps me busy, really.
I can imagine.
This has been a lot of fun.
Well, thank you so much.
Oh,
John.
yeah. I love
appreciate
talking
it.
about it.
I will let you go because that is an hour already. I could talk to you all day. But
Wow.
I will let you guys go grab some lunch
No, it's
before
fine. You were
doors here
wonderful, by the way,
shortly.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So follow these guys. Websites are below in the link. But in the meantime, run fast, laugh hard, and always be kind. Good night.
Yo.